Hi, brothers and sisters in Christ. I hope you've had a great day today. I want to continue speaking to you about agape love, the God kind of love. I want to share a few scriptures with you. So in Luke 6:31, and as you would that men should do to you, do ye also likewise to them. This is what we know as the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Treat others the way that you would want them to treat you. John 13:34 and 35. A new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another. As I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men know that you are my disciples, if you have love one to another. So the way that we love on each other, the way that we treat each other, this is showing the world. The world will see that yes, we are disciples of Christ by the way we love on each other. And this is speaking of a God kind of love, the agape love. This is not the human nature, the human nature kind of love. This is not that romantic kind of love that we think of with human nature. This is true love. God is the very essence of love. God is love. So we need to love others the way that He has loved us. Acts 2:44 through 47. And all that believed were together and had all things common, and sold their possessions and goods, and parted them to all men, as every man had need. And they, continuing daily with one accord in the temple, and breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart, praising God, and having favor with all people. And the Lord added to the church daily such as should be saved. So these disciples, which we are disciples of Christ if we're born again. So we should be living this same way. But the disciples loved on each other so much. They made sure that everyone's needs, the brethren's needs, were met. And they communed together. They fellowshiped together. They broke bread together. They ate together. They had a singleness of heart. They praised God together. And they not only had God's favor, but they had the favor of people. And people saw this and were drawn to God. And therefore the church was added to because people were drawn to God. Now 1 Corinthians chapter 13 is a great chapter. God speaks of this kind of love all through the Bible, Old Testament and New Testament. But let me read you 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not love, I am become as sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains, and have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not love, it profits me nothing. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not boast itself. It is not puffed up, does not behave itself rudely. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily provoked. It thinks no evil. Does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they shall cease. Where there are tongues, they shall cease. Where there is knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part will be done away. When I was a child, I spoke as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know even as also I am known. And now abides faith, hope, and love. These three. But the greatest of these is love. So it's very important that we understand God kind of love. It's very important that we walk in the love of Christ. Galatians 5:13 and 14. For brethren, you have been called unto liberty, freedom. Only use not your freedom or your liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. So it is so important. God tells us, Jesus left us with 2 commandments. First, love God with all of your heart, your mind, your soul, and your strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Now, you will love your neighbor as yourself if you are keeping that first commandment that Jesus gave us. Love God with all of your heart, your mind, your soul, and your strength in your body. 1 John 3:16 through 18. Hereby perceive we the love of God, because he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren. But whoso has this world's good, and see his brother have need, and shuts up his bowels of compassion from him, how does the love of God dwell in him? My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. So again, we are called to be like Jesus. We are to be his body. We are his body as born again believers. So therefore, we should be acting like it. We should be walking in the love of God. And we need to love our neighbor as ourself. Now, if you had a need, would you want someone to help you? Of course you would. We all would. Then we should be the help that others need. If you see a need, fill it. Don't make them beg you for it. Don't make them have to lay out the most intimate details of their situation, trying to convince you to give some help. You wouldn't want to be done that way. Don't do that to others. Trust God that he's going to send you to where you need to be. He's going to show you who to help. Are you listening? Are you watching? Will you be obedient? We need to be about our Father's business, brothers and sisters in Christ. Be the help that someone needs. Don't make them beg you for it. Be that help. Show that love of Christ. Love your neighbor as yourself. Serve others. You'll be serving God. I hope this is helping you. Open your heart. Show the love of God to people. Tell people what Jesus has done for us. I will see you next time. Have a great day.